Feels so cringe. Good morning. It's also so cringe. Day 2 of recording. Today is April 11th, 2025. The time is 7:51. I checked my Apple Watch. I got 9 hours and 13 minutes of sleep, which is amazing for me because usually it's hard for me to get above 7.5. But because I got out only like 5 the day before, I was very tired. So I was able to get a lot more than I usually do. Plan for today, first thing is to make breakfast, which I eat the same thing every day. I'll show you what that is after this. Then it is to get my daily juggling in, and then it should be about time for me to leave for class. I have 2 classes. The first one is a double session, so it's about 3 hours. Then I have a single session, which is an hour and a half. After that, I'm going to stay on campus, do work. The first part of work I have is to edit the video from yesterday. I'm gonna try to see if I can upload that, have a turnaround time of 1 day. So record, then the next day edit, and then post on that same day. Then if I manage to do that, that would be great. If not, I guess I'll see from where I have to go from there. I have practice at 7:30, so I'm just gonna try to record as much as I can, record me working, maybe even record me in class, because there was a few times where I was kind of afraid of recording, which was in class, in the metro. Those were the main 2 things. I might get a few clips from that, maybe a few clips of me working as well, and then putting on my cleats or something. I don't know. I'm not a big person of having recording so everyone's watching me record. I find that kind of cringe. I kind of try to hide it, but trying to get as much footage as I can. We'll see how it goes. Talk to you after I make my breakfast. Something I forgot to mention is actually I drink AG1 every day. I started this month because when I got to Spain, I was getting constantly sick. I would have something new every single week. So I decided that I wanted to try something. I've seen AG1 before on podcasts, people promote it, and they have pretty good reviews. So I was like, fuck it, let me just try it. So far, it's only been maybe 2 weeks, but it's been good. The taste, for a green drink, it's actually not bad. And then I haven't been sick since. So it may be that. It may be a psychological effect of me saying oh, this is going to make me not sick, so then my immune system is better. But I don't know. I'm going to keep taking it. Hopefully it helps me, but who knows. Here's the breakfast. I have this just about every single day. Omelet with ham, onion, spinach, mozzarella cheese, 3 eggs, salt and pepper, a little bit of water in the egg mixture to make it more fluffy, 2 pieces of toast with butter, pineapple juice. Hello everyone, this is Evan in post-recording. So this is just a little bit of a little sped up montage of me juggling, just showing you what I'm doing. Today is going to be very different from what I'm going to do in the future. In the future, I'm going to be having a time lapse of the entire thing, but the first iteration I just recorded until I had a session or a good rally in that certain variation. But in the future, I'm going to be having a time lapse of the entire thing so you could have a better idea of what it actually looks like. A lot of the failing, I'm going to be dropping the ball a lot because that's just how it is. In order to get better, I'm going to have to be able to fail over and over again. So I finished my juggling on the way to school. I have school in I'm gonna flip it over. I have school in 45 minutes, so I should be on time to get there. Juggling, it went well. So today I use ChatGPT to analyze. I have a notebook where I write down my benchmarks and how it did for the session. I have a target goal. I have an overall time that I have, so I have 45 minutes, and then I have a target goal for each little variation that I do. So I just do below the knee double foot or single foot, or above the waist double foot, single foot. And then I have ChatGPT analyze the time it took me to do each one, and then
it will give me suggestions on whether I should progress. So today it decided to progress a lot of my different variations to where I was doing 50% more than I usually do. So it was a little bit harder. So it was harder like mentally and then physically because it's something I'm used to being able to do, and then I was struggling with it. But I guess this is how it is. That's really it. I can tell I've gotten better at just not caring because I was just walking and some dude like looked at me and then I just kept on talking. So I don't know. It's a process.
Here's another one of the montages of me going to school. I'm just going to be talking about kind of being okay with being bad. That was I think the title of the last video, but I have to be okay with not being great at certain things. For example, this video editing, I'm going to be really bad for the first maybe year, maybe even longer, but I shouldn't expect to have like a huge growth over time, but maybe in a few years I'll be okay and then I'll be a little bit happier with how it looks. Honestly, I'm not going to lie, like the editing, I'm not doing that much, but I think it looks not terrible so far, but if I'm the only one who says that, then maybe someone please give me some feedback. Here's me just pulling up to school, just got off the metro. I love looking at all the buildings in Spain. IE is right in the business district, so there's a bunch of big buildings that they don't really have anywhere else. A bunch of consulting companies are here. And then here's IE Tower. I said yesterday, but it's just a tower. There's no like anything else connected to the campus. We have face recognition going in the swirly doors. Doing another add-on because the last video had some parts that I didn't like, but here's just me going up the elevator. I'm gonna have a clip of me going in the classroom. First one there, you know how it is. On break in my first class, I went to go get a little croissant. We have like a little 10-minute. I eat these things. If I'm going to the tower, I'm eating this. We have a little break about 10 minutes in between if we have like double sessions because the school I think just thinks it takes too long, which is nice. We just learned about 8B testing. This is my favorite class. It's called Building an Online Business. I've learned about 8B testing before in different courses at my home university and in different courses here, but this example I think was the best. This like teaching style, the way it was is we just went through a bunch of different examples and he basically showed us what did you think was better for this or this A/B test, and just showed us that we don't actually know what our customers want and we don't actually know what's going to be better for the website. So you should just test a bunch of things so that you have more data, and even if one little change or one big change changes the conversion by 2%, doing 100 changes like that could change your conversion. If each one changes 1 or 2%, it will completely change the amount your business does. So for me in building my business, A/B testing is going to be very important. Although A/B testing is hard because you have to build out an entire new like landing page or change a certain function. I mean, that's just what I have to do if I want to make it as good as possible. Now we're going to be working on creating the campaigns for our Google NGO. We have about an hour and a half left. I'm gonna eat this. I'll take it back to class and then eat it, and should be good. I might be cooked today though because I put my computer on the charger, but it didn't actually charge. So my computer's on 8% and I didn't bring my charger, and I was actually thinking about bringing it today. Might be cooked. Going to see if the IT department here has chargers that I can use for the day. Just finished class. Going to warm up my food in the cafeteria. Have another one directly after this, so I'm gonna warm it up and then go there. Quick elevator ride, so quick video. Peace. Just finished RL class. It was actually hella interesting today. Usually I don't pay attention, I just work on my app, but we're talking about, I don't know, something about it today. It was just like I was very interested in it. We were talking about like decaying rewards and kind of use cases of RL, which is what I'm really interested in, like the application and stuff of these coding and artificial intelligence things. So it was just really interesting. I'm gonna go study. I'm actually not gonna go study, I'm gonna edit the video. Okay, I've just finished editing. my first video, and I was going to post it on my channel, but I think the video, my Wi-Fi, apparently the school Wi-Fi is shit, so I have this error. Processing abandoned, video too long. My video is like 20 minutes long, and I've seen videos on YouTube that are 10 hours, like 24 hours long, so there's no way that's the problem. I looked it up. Someone said that it happens when you have shit Wi-Fi. So I'm gonna wait till I get home to post. It's actually very interesting for me to watch my own video back, because I see a lot of the times where I mess up or where I'm pausing, and it's kind of cringe and hard to watch, but continually watching that and giving myself feedback on how I could do better, either with the editing or how I can do better in talking to make these videos a little bit more fluid and interesting. I'll just become a better creator over time. And then if other people as well who are watching the video give me feedback saying like, oh, you should do this or you should do this, it's gonna be great. My editing is gonna be very minimalistic, because I wanna be able to post regularly, and I'm not gonna be able to have really fancy, really cool editing if I am continually making like these really hard edits. So I'm just doing very basic stuff, and then when I have periods of me traveling, I'm gonna do voiceovers, and I'm doing those in one or two takes, where I just completely delete it if I don't like the first take. So I'm gonna get better at that as well. And then a big thing that I saw was the camera angle. A lot of my videos, they're filmed like this. It just looks really bad, and it's just so much better to just film like this. So I'm gonna try to work on that, although it's kind of cringe to do it in public. And then also like I feel like I'm a pretty like well-built person, but it's impossible to keep my arm up like this for the entirety of like a 7-minute clip. So either I'm gonna have to take more time in between clips, or just stop being a little, I don't want to like curse, but like a little crybaby. So I'm gonna go. It took me about an hour and a half to fully edit and upload the video. I'm gonna go, it's currently 5:09 p.m. I'm gonna go eat, and then I'm going to work on my actual business instead of doing this. And then I have practice. I get there via the bus. I may do a little not transition, but like flow from the bus to practice. Have practice until 8:30, and then I'm gonna go home, have a quick snack, and then go to bed. Also, another thing that I found really cringe is these outros. I like it better when I just cut it, so I'm not gonna do these cringe things like "see you later." Finally, the last thing I saw, when watching myself back, I watch the videos and edit them as I'm watching them for the first time. I can see myself say the same things over and over again. So I'm gonna try to get better at saying different things as well. A lot of communication I feel like I'm just really weak at, and it's good to watch myself so I can see where I'm actually failing so that I can improve in the future.
Yum, yum.
Another little voiceover. I wanted to show here just the process of me going through actually using vibe coding, which is at 5 times speed. And then this is what I do before every single practice. I've journaled just to get my mindset right. And then, so I write just to like have the proper thoughts. And then now I'm going on the way to practice. It takes about 20 minutes to get there from IE. So I just stay on campus. It's a really pretty scenery, especially in Spain after it rains. It's very nice. Here are a few of the buildings that are harder to see from the other side. And then next I'm going to be getting on the bus. Actually, I was just going to record the buildings, which you'll see in a second, once I got on the bus. And then it turns out there's a really pretty rainbow. You can see a little bit in the first clip, but the second clip, I don't know why the video quality is so trash, but the third clip, oh my God, look at that rainbow. So pretty. And then me stopping off.
Actually, the first one I arrived at practice, notice this is here. Here's the field. We practice at a high school. It's a Friday, so there's no one here. And it just rained. And I think people in Spain are like the Wicked Witch of the West because they melt, because no one's out when it's raining. Anyway, excited for practice.
That's really it. I don't really have anything much to say. Hopefully I had a little bit of like a montage of the bus. Trying to do better at the video recording level. I'll be watching this tomorrow to see how it is. I finished. I said that I finished. I was having some problems with posting it, but I think I did finally get it up. So officially have my first video posted. I do not have to do the consequence that I would have to do if I don't post. Probably gonna record once I get home. Kind of maybe just recap really quick how practice went, how I'm feeling. I don't think we have games this weekend or next weekend, so it's gonna be a little bit before I have a match day vlog, if these are called vlogs. But so far been a pretty good day. Editing took probably from start to get the video posted 2 hours. Hopefully I can cut that down via getting better at dealing with YouTube and exporting. I think the first video I uploaded was in the TikTok format, so hopefully this next video is going to be in the 16:9 YouTube format. I think that's really all I have. Yeah. Something I did want to say, I feel like today has been a lot less me recording videos and talking to the camera, but I think that's partly because yesterday I just had a lot of stops and starts, and today I just had the going to class straight. I got lunch, and then I was working straight until I finished, and then I had dinner, and I was working at dinner for a little bit, and then so it wasn't a lot of the like stopping and starting that I had yesterday, but I think this would be like a more realistic view of what I have, although I'll have more to do, like actually working out. Typically Thursday, Friday, I don't go to the gym just because of class time, so I'll have a gym workout tomorrow, but I'm gonna do that. I'll have a lot in the weekend. That's like 25% of my week, so I can't let that pass by. I'm just really enjoying what I'm doing right now, building the app and playing soccer. School's all right. I kind of don't really pay attention to some of my classes, although today was very different. Both of them were great. The AP testing and then the reinforcement learning, thoroughly enjoyed both of them. If I could have all my classes like that, I would, but unfortunately sometimes I don't, so I just do my own thing during class to try and make any progress I can. Back at home, had practice. It went well. This is a Friday practice. I feel like Spanish practices are so much different from the United States. Practice will officially start at 7, but it doesn't really start till 7:15. Like people will start showing up around 7, and then we have like a 10-minute warm-up, 7-minute warm-up. And then at the end of practice, we'll have like 10 minutes of just taking free kicks. So it's like we miss, out of the entire hour and a half, we miss probably like almost like 20-30 minutes of actual practicing. So it's just something really different from what I'm used to, because I'm used to either like warming up before practice so that we can actually practice during the practice, or having just longer practices, like 2-hour practices, to where we can have the time to properly warm up, and then we don't really have a warm down. We just, once we stop, and that's really it. So it's a change of pace, but I'll get used to it. I have to hold the cameras, which is a pain in the butt because my arms are kind of tired. I wrote down a few things. I have a journal. I typically like journal and meditate at the end of the day, just so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm reading. Just some funny update. So the team we just played on Sunday, we tied 1-1. At the end of the game, I went to go shake a player's hand, say like, "Oh, nice game, bro." I thought that was a usual thing to do. I should have maybe seen he just ripped his shirt before, but I went to like go shake his hand. I didn't say a thing after that, and then he spit on me. So I went to the ref and was like, "Yo, this guy just spit on me. Can you give him a red card?" And the ref like saw the spit still on my face and then gave him a red card. So I thought that was the end of it. Wait, I'm gonna go check that out. I think that was just some loser that came by and decided to ring the doorbell because I think they're really funny. Anyway, I thought that was the end of it. When we was walking to the locker room, one of their players was like sitting on the outside of theirs and saying like, street, fight. And I was just like, you're a loser. Like, come on. But then I changed, walked out with my friend. None of them were still on the street. Maybe they were still in their locker room, I think, like absolutely yelling. I thought that was the end of it. Like, of course, the dude was
in the wrong, like spitting on someone after the game. I didn't even talk to him or interact with him during the game, so I don't know why he didn't like me. Anyways, I come out to find that we've practiced Wednesday, Friday. Wednesday, our coach tells us that the team we just played was in trouble because they apparently beat up the ref after the game. And then I heard we got text today saying that the team was banned for 4 years because multiple players like beat up the ref. Like that's what I don't even know. I don't really have any words for that. Like it's just like what is going on? I came here to play soccer, not to come to a street brawl, but like apparently the people on my team were saying that's like the kind of like the low life people who just like do a bunch of crime and steal. So I guess that's what it is. They said that was like the worst team that you play and no one else is really like that. And evidently they were because they beat up the ref after the game. But I guess we move on for that. Next thing I have to talk about is shipping faster. So I was reading this article on the way home from one of the newsletters that I subscribed to. I think it was TLDR, and they had a newsletter about how a founder has spent his time over the past 5 years. And I was reading it, and then a realization came to me. I'm spending too much time on little details that don't really drive the product forward. So I'm making a calendar. Currently, I'm working on a header for the all-day events, and I'm trying to get the spacing perfect, but the functionality is mainly there. It would be so much more worth my time to try to build out the functionality of another thing than it would be to try to sort out the minute details of the all-day header. So in the future, I'm going to try to catch myself when doing that and actually work on parts of the website / product that are going to make a difference. That's just something I wanted to tell y'all so I can kind of reinforce it in my head. And then I have to, on top of that, I'm going to be okay with a worse product. It's kind of like these videos. I would rather get a video out than not post because I'm too worried about it being perfect. Today's video, no. The video that I posted today, which was yesterday, April 10th, I exported the video in whatever the default aspect ratio was, which is TikTok and Instagram Reels. So in YouTube, it's not even the right ratio. That's a mistake I'm gonna make in these early stages. I'm gonna make mistakes like that. If I continue this 500 episodes later, I'll look back at my first episode and I'll laugh because I didn't even get the aspect ratio right. But I found how to fix that in CapCut, and then hopefully my next video doesn't have that same problem. Recap for the day. I mean, today was pretty good. It started out juggling, breakfast, class, editing, dinner, and then a little bit of work on the app itself, and then I had practice. Now I'm home. I came home, took a shower, had a little bit of a snack because I need to eat after practice. Otherwise, I'm just really hungry throughout the night. So I had a protein shake, and then I need something that's a little bit not like liquid. I need something I can chew and swallow. I don't know how it would go. I don't know how astronauts do that liquid diet thing for an entire year. I would not be able to do that. But I had some hummus and they're not like pita chips, they're like toasted chips, but just to get something down that I'm going to have before. I then did some other like little tasks. I'm going to journal and meditate and then go to bed. Wake up tomorrow. I don't really have a plan for exactly what I'm going to do yet, but it's something similar about I'm going to juggle, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to edit the video, I'm going to read, meditate, I'm going to work on my business, and then I'll see what else I can fit in. Oh, something that I caught myself, I did it today. I was checking YouTube Studio after I posted the first video just to see like if I got any views and got any comments. I have posted on TikTok in the past, so I know that I do get attached to the views and comments. So I have to learn to not attach myself to that. The way I'm mainly going to go about it is that I'm only allowed to check YouTube Studio when I'm posting a video. So I'm not going to be able to check YouTube Studio until I finish editing today's video, April 11th, tomorrow. And then I also have to get into the mindset that the views don't matter, because what actually matters is me getting better at this and then me also recording my journey. And I kind of just have to tell myself that to actually make it go, like, be true. I don't want to do it for views. So I have to kind of tell myself that until it's not even a thing like I think about. So that's what I gotta have. And then finally, what I have planned for spring break. So I have a meeting on Monday with a potential client. I would be building out a AI app that creates meal plans for people in rural areas who live in food deserts. So I would be working with a nutritionist and a medical literacy person so that I can take the information of healthy meal plans, connect to food, like grocers or local food providers in their area, and then create a meal that would be tailored to them in easy language for people who are maybe uneducated to understand. So this is the initial meeting. They're going to figure out if I'm a right fit for them. I have a bunch of questions to ask them. I'm just trying to learn a little bit more about it. I'm trying to see if I can get equity in it, because I want to be able to own the actual output or product, because eventually I want to put that into my calendar app. So not necessarily the rural part, but have people, if when they eat lunch and they have to make their own food, have like a ChatGPT like API call to where it will create like a healthy meal for them. And then I think the next iteration after the meals is the exercise, but so that would be if someone's going to the gym, create like an exercise routine for them, or if they have like a small amount of time, like 45 minutes, create like a good exercise routine for them based on their goals. So that's the meeting on Monday. I keep on moving back and forth. I need to, partly because I have to like switch my hold on the camera because my arms get tired. And then also I'm looking at my journal, which is not able to see when I'm leaning back, but are going to be watching this and editing and being like, you're cringe. And that's okay. Tuesday, I'm going to meet up with my partner in building your online business. We're going to finish out our website and hopefully get it completely ready and run Facebook ads to get some traffic to our website. We're meeting at a library in the Retiro Park, so that's cool. I'm just happy to get that done. We only have one class left, and it's a class presentation on our campaign that we set up today. So we set that up. We'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll look at that on Tuesday and tweak it if we need to, but I think everything's running right now. Then one of my roommates, actually, I was informed today, has a friend coming in when they're not even going to be here. So I'm going to have to go out and make some keys so that they can be staying here. Basically, so I don't have to take care of them. I can give them the keys. They can go in and out of the apartment when they want. I can do my own thing. I actually know him already. I went on a school trip with him to Dubai. Sounds like a crazy thing, but I went on scholarship, so not stacked like that. But so I know the person already. We actually rid a camel together. So I'm excited to see him again. I haven't seen him except for like sparsely at school since Dubai. And then he's going to be here for a few days. So I'm not going to be alone the entire time, but that's all right. I like people anyway, so it'll be fine. I think that's all I really had on tap for me to talk about in this session right now. I'm going to meditate, journal, go to bed, and then that's the entire day. So day 2 down. I'm really enjoying like recording this and like talking out. So I hope like this enjoyment of this doesn't fade. I do worry that although it doesn't really matter because I'm not doing it for views, it's gonna be very redundant for the viewers. I do want to make interesting content at the end of the day, but also I would rather be authentic in the fact that I show you what I'm actually doing, and hopefully in the future, if I am successful, you'll have a better idea of what it actually takes to get to there from a position where you don't really have anything. Because I was listening to a podcast today and the person said, I started the podcast essentially 90 days after I lost everything, but that doesn't include the first few years where he built up all the skills that he needed in order to then recreate the business. It's not like he might have started a monetary amount from zero, but the amount of skills and mainly just the amount of skills and knowledge that he had in order to build a successful business was mainly already there, which makes sense because they are like a business podcast. So why would he make a podcast about something he doesn't have expertise in? But it's not really starting from zero. I guess I can't really say I'm starting from zero either. It's not like, I think the biggest like starting from zero is like David Goggins when he talks about how he got up and ran a quarter mile and walked home. That's like literally zero. I'm not at that point, although I haven't had any success in business so far. So I think I can say I'm very close to zero, which is not something I'm like proud about right now, but eventually in the future, hopefully I'm closer to 1 or 100. Just trying to give the journey of me from as close to the start as I can. Day 2 down, April 11th, Friday. Peace.